Oh, hi guys. Today is May the 16th, and that makes it day 57 of lockdown. And as you may be able to tell, I'm looking quite sick of this shit. No, I'm just not feeling very well today, so I've just woken up from a nap, and there we are. I'm not even gonna mind your nose. I'm not even gonna mention. I'll just leave you to make of that what you will. Chris has lost his mind, I think it's safe to say. How are you doing there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good. Lots to talk about today on the vlog.
I don't know if they're going to be able to hear you, Babs.
Well, I was just going to talk to them about All Keir Starmer and that, and about the graphic novels I've been reading.
Okay, well, I don't know how well it's coming out on microphone, but you sound muffled, really. Like.
Do you want me to take it off?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
What is that monstrosity?
It's my...
Your hair is all in the eye holes.
Well, I'm trying to... Alright, well...
That's a look.
Alright, well, I'm going to take this one off as well then. I was just going to...
What do you look like?
I was just trying to sort of jazz it up a bit and make it a bit more visually interesting for everyone, because... I just don't feel like, I mean, people have to watch this and I don't feel like we've made much of an effort to look our best for them.
Oh, fuck off. I put my makeup on every night.
I haven't shaved. I'm wearing yesterday's t-shirt. I haven't had a haircut since lockdown. You look a fucking state.
You cheeky fucker.
I feel...
you could have got ready.
I haven't got my glasses on, and you might think that's to stop people from, would stop me so I can put my masks on, but it wasn't. It was so that I didn't have to look at us.
You cheeky fucker.
And if I don't want to look at us, I don't feel like anyone else should have to. I just think it should be nicer for people to look at.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Well, what do you suggest then?
Well, I've got an idea.
Right.
So what I was thinking...
No.
Oh, I was thinking...
Is that better?
Hello. How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the vlog today. We good to go?
Yeah, all good to go.
Yeah. I feel like we've made a bit more effort for people now. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Although I have just realised the extent of my lockdown boobs. They have got rather ample when I put them in a corset.
Lockdown boobs,
well,
because you've locked them down under a corset.
Well, yes, but actually I was thinking more the weight gain that has happened during lockdown. But
I wish I had lockdown boobs. I'm looking very flat-chested.
Oh, we should have
got the long wig on.
Yeah, you can cover it up in a sort of mermaid-esque, Daryl Hannah sort of way.
Yes. Yeah. Betraying our earlier listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel like I look pretty good. There's a scene in the film The Danish Girl, starring Eddie Redmayne.
Ah, that was the name of the film you were trying to remember.
If not the first, then certainly one of the first transgender people, transgender women, and it's such a kind of uncommon or kind of unknown, at least, thing at the time, or not understood. It was very,
it wasn't uncommon, people weren't open about it.
Yeah, and there wasn't really the same understanding about it, so she didn't necessarily realise that she was transgender for a long time. She was living life as a man, and then she has a painter friend who says, "Look, can you pose for this dress just so I can get the shape for this painting I'm doing?" And she has a sort of fluttering,
of a eureka moment,
kind of like a really. And I have to say, I'm getting none of that.
I thought that was about to be some sort of quite striking revelation then, but no.
I mean, the overriding thing was just, I like how glossy my lips look, but I also feel like it took a lot of time.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's partly down to me not being used to putting makeup on you, but also quite a lot of you not knowing sort of how to hold your eyes or lips so that I could do it. So there was a few, I've got to do that again, and because it's quite hard to sort of get your lips still to just do the eyeliner, the lip liner.
If I were to do it to myself, it would look even worse.
What do you mean, even worse?
I don't mean look even worse. Take even longer. That's what I mean. Sorry. Yeah, no, that came out wrong.
I worked very hard on that. Let's show off your cheekbones. Pull the, lovely, some little cheekbones going on there. In actuality, I've gone
from a certain angle. I think I look like Sharon from EastEnders. Oh, I've just seen that. Oh dear. A young Sharon from EastEnders.
Oh, yeah. I think you look pretty.
Because
the only thing that's unfortunate is I don't have any of my normal big fake eyelashes on, which would have probably feminized the eyes a little bit more. But
well, I'm not ruling out. I'm certainly not going to be doing this on a regular basis. I'm not ruling out ever wearing makeup again, but maybe only for special occasions.
Okay.
You know, like my wedding day or something.
Okay. Well, it's not like that's planned, and it's not like anyone's planning weddings anytime soon. So.
But your friends...
that wasn't a dig, by the way. That was just genuinely everybody is not planning weddings at the moment.
It's not really happening, is it? But it's nice to dream, isn't it? Like a dream of the sort of wedding I'd like.
Yeah.
Sort of dress I'll wear.
That's what you're gonna go for.
I reckon. And my dad
look forward to that.
And my dad will do a speech.
Would your gran be happy with that? I think it would raise an eyebrow or two. I think quite a lot of your friends would be quite surprised.
She can wear what she wants. But because your friend Elle, she made a comment.
She would be much better at doing your makeup than I would. She's much better at makeup.
She said that I would make a good drag queen at one point. I think she said.
Yes, I can't remember why it was.
No, just apropos of nothing. And
that's the kind of thing she'd say.
And my friend Shani shared a thing on Facebook where you can figure out what your drag queen name is.
Oh yeah, what was yours at the time? I remember it was how you work it out.
Yeah, how you work it out is your grandmother's name and the last sweet thing that you ate.
Yes.
So what would yours be if you did it now?
Well, I've got a choice of grandmothers, but they've both got quite similar names actually. They're Margaret or Margreta, but Margreta went by Greta, which I think is maybe a bit more drag queeny in Greta. So it would have been, yeah, that's what I was thinking. When I saw this, it would have been Greta Flapjack.
Flapjack.
Have I had anything? Now it would be Greta Bourneville Button.
Oh, there you go.
I could hyphenate that, couldn't I? Greta Bourneville Button.
Mine at the time was going to be Shirley Palmer Violets. Although I then checked the packet, it turns out Shirley Giant Palmer Violets. I'm not sure.
That's quite comedy drag queen, isn't it? I think. But Shirley Giant Palmer Violet, Greta Bourneville Button. Yeah, it's a bit Benjamin Button, that, isn't it? I quite like it. Yeah, we've. Well, I was going to say we haven't had enough to do today, but actually there's been loads to do, and I haven't done any of it. I spent a lot of today sleeping. I have not felt quite right today. Not like ill, but just. I guess it's probably just fibro-y, but just very sleepy. It not helped by yet another night where I repeatedly had to go in and keep Poppet company for like an hour or so because she was yowly and wanted to come out. And so then you go in there and wait for her to settle down, and then you go back to bed, and then she's just like, no, I think she's got energy to burn as well. She'd normally be able to go out, and she's quite a hunter. So she'd normally be able to go out and sort of burn some of that off, and she can't. So then she wakes up and she's like, nah, this is still bullshit. So then yowls again. And just unfortunately, you sleep like the dead.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't hear any of it. And I feel like a bit of a dick being like, I've woken up anyway. And then being like, Chris, go and deal with this. So I just get up and go in. But yeah, this morning it was bad because I was in there from about 5 till about 6:15. And then I came back to bed, and then she started off again at 7:30. And I went in there, only went in for about 10 minutes at 7:30. And then I was back in there at 9. And I was just like, I just haven't had enough sleep. So yeah, I'm a bit tired. But then I went for a little nap at about 6, which went on till 9:30. So not long after that we did the first little bit of this blog, and then this has taken quite a while. Like, me doing my makeup doesn't take me that long. I can probably get it done in a rush this is quite an extensive face of makeup, more than I would normally wear, so this took a little bit longer, but yeah, I can probably get my makeup done in 15 minutes usually. But doing yours took fucking ages. But that's not down to sort of that I don't really like. It's so weird doing makeup on someone else's face because it's just all a different shape. I was going, look how tiny your eyes are. Like no, it's not bad, but it's just like there's loads of space between my eyes and my eyebrows, or I do quite a lot of shading, and I was just like, you just don't have that. I think it's a manly eyebrow thing. It's probably like a deeper brow. But I'm like, I can't do any of the stuff I normally do. This is weird.
And it took so long. I've already started ruining my lip gloss by drinking wine.
You still look nice and shiny.
It's what happens when you? Because it's all very well on your wine glass there. What happens when you're eating your dinner? Do you not just get bits of lip gloss all over your food.
You just basically it just comes off and then you re-gloss afterwards. That's why you sort of see like kind of the stereotypical like bimbo-y girls just constantly putting lip gloss on, because lip gloss just doesn't stay on.
But I'm not so worried about it staying on.
It's the getting it on everything.
Well, it's just my food. If I cook a nice meal for us this evening, is my dinner going to taste of lip gloss?
Well, you can always wipe your lips if you're worried. No, but you probably... Well, I wouldn't notice. Once I've lipsticks on, I wouldn't notice it changing my food taste or anything. But I don't wear lip gloss often, actually.
So it's not a distinctive flavour?
No, sometimes they... Because actually, you can get, like, lip plumping ones. And usually they're, like, minty or they've got a mentholy thing in them. Because that sort of actually makes your lips tingle, which plumps up your lips and makes them look poutier. Obviously, they would have a bit of a flavour.
I'm not averse to menthol, but I don't know if it'll go with gravy.
No, menthol gravy.
I'm going to do some gravy. And it's going to be good lush, I tell thee.
I'm liking this wig. I've only worn this wig out once, and actually I put it on. I'm like, oh, I think I'm just missing having long hair. But like,
it is a nice looking wig. Your hair's getting longer though.
It is getting long. After lockdown, I'm probably gonna actually need to cut it. But my hair's not full like this. I've got quite thin hair.
I don't really understand the thing with wigs where they've got like deliberate roots.
Yeah, I think that's just the fashion at the moment. All wigs don't, but that is quite fashionable at the moment. Yours is almost ombre, but it's not. It is just roots. But ombre is when it sort of fades from one colour to another, usually from dark to light. But you can do reverse.
Sure, I can see that.
But
I guess.
yeah,
but like because you've got like the tips. I get that, but like people dye their hair, don't they? And they go, oh, your roots showing. You need to get that done.
It also it's fashionable now, but it also I allow for that to happen with my purpling. It means that you can go longer between bleaching your roots. So if you let it grow and it sort of looks deliberately kind of grown out, it does actually mean that you don't have to put such strong chemicals right to the roots of your hair as often.
The other thing is I can't see...
He's had so many revelations today. He's just sort of like, I'm doing things, he's going, but how do you do this? And then I'm just putting the wig on, I'm like, it's going to be itchy and annoying, you're just going to have to deal with it. He's like, well, why would you do that though? I'm like, because it looks good. And you're like, I think we have very different attitudes to... But welcome to womanhood, Babs.
Be comfortable.
Yeah, this corset is already bullshit, and I am just to break the illusion, still wearing pajama bottoms.
I mean, this is me too. This is like I was going to say a day trip to womanhood, but it's not really. It's like a night out to womanhood. I'm not gonna stick around.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you see why I just don't bother most of the time. Like, it's quite a lot of effort. I quite like the makeup. I quite like wearing makeup anyway, but the whole, like, corsets and high heels and all of that shit, I'm too old for that shit.
There's a Hulk Hogan film called Suburban Commando.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
He plays an alien who comes to Earth, and the theme tune, like, over the end credits... is because he's an alien that's come to Earth.
That wine is lovely.
And the theme tune so it goes, it's a nice place to live, and he goes, but you wouldn't want to visit, which...
Why would it be good to live but not visit?
Because it's like saying, oh, Earth's lovely, but it's a bit of a fish out of water going on. So at the time I thought that was really clever, but I was very young, so just any sort of wordplay probably impressed me at the time. I don't know why I brought that up. So it's fine.
Yeah, so oh god. I don't think we're going to have too serious a one again today. I think we've had a few serious ones on the trot, and we're just as... It would feel a little tasteless, perhaps, to be talking about anything too serious while we look like this.
We do want to say sort of R.I.P., sort of rest in peace to a great comic actor who sadly has died on the 15th. Is it the 15th?
It's the 16th today.
So yesterday he died. I don't know, but I think the news kind of came out about it today. And Fred Willard, and I hope I think he wouldn't mind us doing it.
No, I think he'd probably find this
he'd appreciate it, but he's starred in lots of things.
Yeah, I've seen him in loads of things. My main current thing that I think of him as is he plays Phil Dunphy's dad in Modern Family. But he's one of those faces that you will have seen in loads of things.
He was in Austin Powers, Anchorman, Spinal Tap.
Yes.
Lots of Christopher Guest movies like Best in Show and Mighty Wind and Waiting for Guffman. So he's just like one of those ones. Anything you see him in, he's like a reliable presence, and you're like a safe pair of hands. Like he's going to be good. He's going to be funny.
He's good. Very good comic actor.
I have to say, the last.
And just seems nice. You know, sometimes I guess maybe because he just plays quite nice and cheerful, but.
And he's apparently I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of this, but apparently from what I've read today, he was very often on Letterman and Jimmy Kimmel, and was very good on the chat shows as well, and is somewhat of a kind of good egg.
Yeah.
In good. Circles. So,
well, he was in his 80s. I think I saw that he was 86.
Yeah, and I have to say...
So, it wasn't Rona. We should also mention, whenever we talk about anything like that, it was natural causes. I guess he's in his 80s. But he's sort of... Well, the current series that we're watching of Modern Family is 2019, and he seemed in very good health then. So I don't think it was sort of a long illness or anything.
He did seem... Like, he seemed in good health, like, sprightly and things. But I have to say, having seen him in things... over the last, few decades of my life.
Looking a bit more frail.
Every time I see him in that show, it kind of strikes me he looks quite thin and a bit frail. And
that's a dog, sorry. You could have probably worked that out.
Yeah. If you don't know what a dog sounds like, that's a dog, guys.
Shush, shush, shush.
But...
Making noises.
I know what you're so grumpy about.
Maybe she's upset about Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Babs. Hackles are up and everything.
But yeah, I have noticed he's looked a bit thinner and a bit, but nonetheless very entertaining.
I found that quite striking when we were watching Afterlife, and then they had that scene with Annette Crosby in it, who's the lady from...
yeah, well...
One Foot in the Grave is the main thing I would recognise her from. She played Victor Meldrew's wife. I can't remember her character name in it, but she was supposed to be playing a lady in a nursing home, and she was... she looked, I guess they maybe had exaggerated her look, but she looked so tiny and old and frail, and that was a bit upsetting.
I mean,
but
then
I realised,
kind of makeup going
on, that was the part. But she was little, ever so little, which it's a strange thing that happens when you age. Margaret, thank you, yes.
Margaret Meldrew,
yeah. But yeah, she's still with us, as far as I know. It was just the sort of when you see actors that you've seen in things, when you see them in... also, that's happening quite a lot now with watching things on telly. People who are normally wearing, like, makeup that's done by professionals obviously don't have it. So I was a little taken aback that Ian Hislop doesn't look... He looks a little bit old, but then I was just like, well, maybe it's just that he hasn't got a face on that he normally does. Not that they'd do what I've done to you, but like a bit of powder and just to sort of zhuzh him up a bit.
And also, he'd probably just would have been more regularly just getting to the hairdressers, just having a trim, just neating things up.
Yes, his hair looked a bit unkempt as well.
Which I think can make you look a bit older if you're reaching that kind of age. Like keeping it neat keeps you looking a bit younger, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So yeah, you're well overdue. A trip to the hairdressers then.
I know, yes, I'm looking very old. I want to set up a Tinder profile.
We can take some pictures.
See if I can get me some Dick Pics.
Hey, it's lockdown, we've got to entertain ourselves however we can. I'll take some pictures of you after this if you like.
Dick Pics have gone into overdrive.
Oh my god.
Because there's going to be a lot of seedy men who can't go out and like hit on people in bars. And they're just going, I'll just send dick pics to everyone.
That's actually a point though, like dating after this is going to be very weird because it's not like we're going to be on just everyone can mingle easily straight away. So anyone who is sort of trying to meet someone, there's going to be a lot of online dating that's going to be forced to sort of spend a long time talking to people before you meet them, which is actually how I, back in my dating days, preferred to do it. It would always be a bit unnerving if you start talking to someone and then almost like within the first sort of 10 minutes they're like, okay, so do you want to meet up for a coffee? Then I'm like, whoa, yeah, hold your horses, because you just sort of get the impression that either they're just looking to get laid or they're a serial killer.
I think I was probably a bit shy. I think you were probably...
I always made the first move on everything. I planned the first date. I went in for the first kiss. I told you I loved you before you told me. All that, like, I just gotta hold him by the hand and drag him along. So at some point I'll propose to myself. It's fine. I'll decide when we have babies.
Will you invite me to the wedding?
If you're lucky.
Okay.
I might have to have some say in how you present yourself if you think this is an option, though.
Will I get a +1?
I would like to think that I'd be your +1. You're going to bring Ford, aren't you?
Cool. Yeah.
In a little tux.
Under my jacket. Yeah.
In a little bow tie.
Tux. Oh my god, I want my boys at the wedding in tuxes.
They won't like it as much.
They'll like it so much.
As we would.
They can be the ring bearers.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it might end up that we have a wedding in lockdown and they'll be quite happy.
They'll be the witnesses. They'll have to sign the book.
Oh yeah, so that's
just you, me, and the boys.
Can Lucy come?
Yeah, Lucy can come and Poppet can come if she's feeling up to it.
Okay.
And
this still does not count, by the way. Like, planning the wedding does not count as being engaged.
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right.
Another thing that I should mention today is very lovely. My friend Jo, who I've mentioned a couple of times for various reasons, I don't know if she actually watches these, but she has been very organised. It's the 16th today. My birthday's not until the 15th of next month, but she's already got organised on sending birthday presents. But she picked things, and she's like, the trouble is I couldn't choose when they sent them. They just had to send them. So over the next few days, you're going to get 3 parcels for you. They're for your birthday, happy birthday. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But the trouble is, I've ordered a few things for myself. How am I going to know what not to open? And she was just like, just open them. I turned that onto silent, but apparently I didn't. Sorry, my phone's just made noises. So already, I've had 2 of the 3, so whoever's posting them is super speedy. The first one was a very nice bottle of wine, which isn't the one that I'm currently eating, because I'm going to try and keep them till my birthday, but we'll see. And the other one was a very nice box of vegan truffles, which look very nice. So yeah, that was very nice. And there's another mysterious one to come. So I'm very grateful for that. Also, it has made me... I'm not organised enough for that sort of nonsense, because her birthday's only 2 weeks after mine. And I need to.
Clever, Jo. Well done.
Yeah, like your work. No, she's not like that at all. She actually doesn't like fuss at all. But I am obviously going to give her some fuss. But yeah, that just puts me to shame. I tend to realise it's somebody's birthday about 2 days before it's their birthday. And what with fibro and work and various things, it's quite tricky to sort of go out shopping. So usually when I'm buying gifts for people, I do it online. Unless there's sort of something specific that I know I can pop out and get while I'm at work or something. So actually, thank God for Amazon Prime. So the next day delivery, because I'd be screwed. But yes, so that was a very nice, gratefully received thing. And actually, she sent me, I can't remember if I mentioned it in the blog, and if I didn't, bad me. But yeah, I think she ordered it, well, she did order it quite a while back, because I saw the delivery note that came with it. But back when, I think it was back when we were still like sleeping on the floor in the, like taking shifts sleeping on the floor and with Poppet, and very stressed, and sort of unexpected vet's bills, and generally not having the most fun that you can have in lockdown. So she sent me through, again, an all-vegan sort of pamper spa kit, which was lovely. It's all white jasmine, so there's a few little candles and sort of bath salts and soaps and fancy, nice little pampering things, which was incredibly thoughtful and smells lush. There's a couple of things in there called bath melts. I didn't know what bath melts were. I just sort of assumed you chucked them in the bath and they melted, but they didn't. So I put them in the bath, and they just kind of sat in the bath, but they're kind of like oily. So what I did is kind of use them as sort of a moisturiser and sort of put them all over me, and I smelled all nice. But I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do with a bath melt. So
Google it.
Yeah, well, I was
that the bit you left like half of one on the side of the
yeah.
bath? It
well,
like
I didn't.
A white chocolate.
I didn't put both in. But yeah, there's 2 of them. But yeah, I put it in. I was expecting it to sort of melt, maybe like not like a bath bomb, because I could tell the sort of consistency wasn't right for that. But then I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do with you. Just chuck it all over me. But it was very nice. It smelled nice. But I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with it. But
I'm sure Google's your friend on this.
Yeah, I know. But I was already in the bath and I'd already chucked it in the water. But yeah, I'll find out what to do with the next one.
Future use. I've been doing a bit of reading.
Yes, you've actually been ploughing through quite a lot of books.
You say that. I've read 2 and a bit books, but
I thought you were on number 5 now. Oh, because you'd already read some of them.
Yes,
I remember.
What it is, I've read almost nothing since nothing really. I just like a few pages of a few things since we've been in lockdown. Like reading, just haven't been able to read. And it's one of those things. I own loads of books. I'm sure, like a lot of people, you just have books and you think, oh, I'd love to read those. I'll get round to them one day when I'm not so busy. And then you find yourself not so busy, and you're just
not inclined
in front of the telly, like scrolling through, going, oh, there's nothing to watch, and you've got shelves of
just spending hours just looking through Facebook and maybe reading the odd article, but not like anything sort of big.
And it's so it's actually been quite satisfying. I was inspired by our friend Jo. Different Joe. A chap Joe. Who goes by Barry Shitpeas on Facebook. Because of course he does.
Yeah.
And he's been writing sort of little reviews of 10 graphic novels, like not necessarily his favourites, but good sort of standalone ones that he sort of recommends. And that reminded me, I've got these kind of shelves of Marvel
loads.
Ultimate
Loads
graphic novel
of them.
collection. It was like a part work.
We should put them all on a shelf
because it's got like pictures on the spine and numbers.
But I think when you moved in,
we just put them.
There were lots of them
space.
in different boxes, and we thought we'll do that properly at some point, and we just haven't. But it would be nice to sort of make a feature of them because they're quite impressive looking.
It's been nice to feel like, oh, I've read a couple of books. They're just graphic novels. They're not very heavy going, but and something off the bucket list, isn't it? And I thought, as I've read a couple of them, I thought I'd do a couple of quick little reviews of them. The first one that I read was called Demon in a Bottle. It's an Iron Man story, and
they're all Marvel, aren't they?
They're all Marvel. Yeah. I mean, I have some others, but the specific collection I've been trying to read are all Marvel, and it's the first one in the collection, and it is. It reminded me of a quote from Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man 1 and 2, the movies.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, if you watch James Bond movies from the 70s, they're all kind of set all around the globe, and he kind of goes off and has lots of swanky adventures and lives a kind of playboy lifestyle.
Swanky adventures.
And, well,
that sounds like the way like a gran would describe James Bond. Very swanky.
I don't know how to describe it, but he kind of...
Glamorous?
Glamorous adventures. And he kind of just... And it all looks a lot of fun and kind of aspirational in a way.
Yeah.
And now, because of things like Bourne and everything else that's come out since...
You need to be a bit grittier.
Yeah, like James Bond needs to be a bit more gritty, a bit more realistic. And Jon Favreau was saying that the joy of something like Iron Man is you can have this playboy millionaire character, and it can still kind of be that kind of glamorous, aspirational kind of world. It can be a bit more heightened.
Well, his character's quite sort of exaggerated anyway, isn't it? So,
and because it's a superhero, it can be a bit more heightened. Like no one needs it to be gritty and realistic to the same extent. So... But I was reminded of that quote because this Iron Man adventure is from 1979, and so it has dated a bit in some ways, but it very much, there's a chunk of it is set in Monaco, there's another chunk set in Las Vegas, it's very kind of, he's this playboy millionaire having this glamorous lifestyle and then beating up bad guys, and it does kind of have a kind of 70s James Bond-esque vibe about it, except that it also deals with him battling with the bottle and kind of descending into alcoholism, which is gives it a bit of an edge, and it kind of was a gateway for a lot of comics to address more adult themes, and it also meant that Iron Man was a bit more of a kind of vulnerable, kind of flawed character.
Because he is very kind of there's I can't remember which, I think it's possibly the first Iron Man film, but it's one of the Iron Man films where someone says to me, "Oh, you take away your suit, and what are you?" And he says, "Philanthropist, playboy, millionaire." And it's just like, you're kind of all right without the suit, aren't you? So it makes him a bit more human and a bit more vulnerable.
And it also kind of, it was kind of a stepping stone and led to kind of more realistic...
Probably a billionaire, isn't he? Is he a billionaire?
I thought so in today's money.
Yeah.
But he's a bit more kind of, more realistic, and it led to things like some of the stuff that went on in kind of Daredevil and other titles. So it's a fun read. It has to some extent dated. And
when was it actually written?
If it's 1979.
Oh, it was actually written in the 70s.
Yeah, that's when it came out. But that was good fun. And the other one I read was called Wolverine. It's the first ever solo comics adventure for Wolverine. It's a 4-part miniseries.
Oh, right.
And he'd only been in the X-Men comics. It's written by Chris Claremont, who didn't create the X-Men, but he did write pretty much all the X-Men titles for about a decade or more, like for years and years. Chris Claremont was the guy that wrote all the X-Men and kind of defined who all the characters were, and just kind of so he's written that. I'd read one of his books before, which is called Dark Phoenix.
They've made the film of that.
Yeah, that's supposed to be.
I haven't seen it.
That is supposed to be like a really sort of classic X-Men adventure. But when I read that book, I found it to be very wordy, and because it's kind of comics and they're kind of episodic, it wasn't designed as like a complete work. Like, it's very repetitive across each issue, a lot of recapping, and the characters like reminding you what their traits are every issue, and it's very wordy and quite dated to my. So I was a bit like, well, I want to read these books in sequence, but I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit of a slog. But this one was much more stripped back. Wolverine's a kind of gruff, kind of stoic kind of character, and I think that kind of influenced the tone of it as well. And also, it was illustrated by Frank Miller,
Oh yeah, brilliant. Did like Sin
City and
I like his style. It's very
Knight
striking.
Returns,
yeah.
Which I've put together a pile of graphic novels for Ellie
Yeah.
to try. She was curious, and
Yeah,
one of those is by Frank Miller. So
yeah, well, I sort of struggle. I used to be a very avid reader, and when I got fibro, I just I struggled. When I was first ill with it, I was quite ill with it, and I was pretty much stuck in the house and couldn't really focus. But it causes sort of cognitive difficulties, and yeah, you can tell when I'm having a bad day because I lose all my words and I act like an idiot. But yeah, when I was first ill with it, I sort of lost the ability to focus on the written word entirely, and to be honest, it never really came back. I can read, but it's no longer pleasurable. It feels like effort. So what I have done to sort of accommodate that is I listen to audiobooks now. So I've got Audible. Actually, I've got 6 credits again, so I'll take some recommendations if anyone wants to recommend me some stuff on Audible. I quite like true crime, I quite like autobiographies, I do like fiction if it's good. Don't really think I want to do fantasy, and nothing too fluffy and rom-com-y.
Are you a fan of Adam Buxton?
Yes.
He's got an autobiography just come out
Ooh.
on Audible, and after the autobiography, there's a bonus podcast with him and Joe Cornish.
Oh, lovely, yeah. Oh, that's one of them. So I've got 5 credits left.
So
I'll take your recommendations.
If you're a fan of Adam Buxton, that is a thing that is out.
But yeah, so graphic novels I think I'll be okay with, because I have read a few, because I've only ever read a few, all actually Alan Moore ones, but I read them post-fibro, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to focus. But actually I think because it's sort of giving you more information on the page, you can sort of glance at what's happening and kind of, I don't know, it worked, but and also you're sort of dealing with little chunks, manageable bite-sized chunks, rather than sort of a page. Because what would happen is I'd find myself losing where I was, reading the same thing over and over again. Whereas graphic novels I can do, so you've got a little pile for me to work through, which I will, but also yeah, I'm gonna get some Audible stuff on the go.
And this but yeah, as I was saying, Wolverine, drawn by Frank Miller. It's more like earlier in his career, before he did like Sin City and it was when he was kind of working for hire for like Marvel, doing their episodic titles, so it's not quite as distinctive as some of his more personal.
So it's him doing their style rather than him doing his style.
Yeah, like
to an extent.
But it's still, some of the art is obviously very well done, and some of it is particularly striking. And actually, the writing of the book kind of is more reminiscent of kind of some of his stuff in a way than what I was expecting, having read some Chris Claremont before. So yeah, not really totally to my taste, if I'm being honest. But
worth a look.
Worth a look. And if you like other Frank Miller stuff, like his Daredevil stuff, really good. We've ran on with that. No, sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's fine. I think
tomorrow, Keir Starmer.
We've been promising Keir Starmer for days. Right, so I think we're going to go enjoy our glam. I'm going to take some pictures of him for a Tinder profile.
I really like your hair.
I really like my hair. I'm going to wear this more often.
You should just grow your hair so it looks like that.
Well, my hair won't be as thick as this. My hair is thin and flimsy, but I am growing my hair. But yeah, I might need to add a few extensions.
I've never had the problem of getting my hair trapped under my armpit before. We're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
I can't tell because I don't have my glasses on. It would
we've waffled. So that is it. We will see you tomorrow. I'll let you know how well he does on Tinder. Hopefully we'll get a few bites. Share them with you if they're unsolicited. Right. Bye, guys.
Bye.